Welcome back, viewers. You're watching Beyond World is One. This is Speed News. Let's start. The member states of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit have condemned the terrorist attack in Pahalgam in a declaration after the SCO summit. The members expressed their deepest sympathy and condolences to the families of the victims killed on the attack on the 22nd of April. The declaration stated that perpetrators, organizers and sponsors of such attacks must be brought to justice. The declaration was released at the end of the SCO summit in Tianjin. Following the SCO leaders' meeting, Prime Minister Modi and Russian President Putin travelled together in the same car for their bilateral meeting. And earlier, Prime Minister Modi even shared glimpses of him greeting Putin at the SCO summit venue. Indian Prime Minister Modi posted on social media platform X photos of himself walking through the SCO venue and exchanging views with Russian President Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping, giving a glimpse of the moments before delivering remarks. Prime Minister Modi said, I quote here, interactions in Tianjin continue exchanging perspectives with President Putin and President Xi during the SCO summit. Modi also posted photos of him greeting and hugging Putin with a post that read, always a delight to meet President Putin. Addressing leaders of Shanghai Cooperation Organization, China's President Xi blasted bullying behavior in the world order. Xi Jinping told the SCO leaders, including Russian and Belarusian presidents Vladimir Putin and Alexander Lukashenko, that the global international situation was becoming more chaotic and intertwined. Xi expressed China's willingness to work with SCO members who face increasingly arduous tasks in ensuring security and development. At the SCO summit, Vladimir Putin defended his Ukraine offensive and blamed the West for triggering the 3.5-year conflict. Putin said the crisis wasn't triggered by Russia's attack on Ukraine, but was a result of a coup in Ukraine, which was supported and provoked by the West. Putin further went on to say that the second reason for this crisis is the West's constant attempts to drag Ukraine into NATO. White House trade advisor Peter Navarro launched a fresh salvo at New Delhi over the purchase of Russian oil. Navarro claimed that India's elite are profiteering at the expense of the Indian people. In an interview with Fox News, Navarro defended the Trump administration's 50% tariff barrage on Indian exports and warned that Prime Minister Modi's ties with Russian President Vladimir Putin and Chinese leader Xi Jinping were undermining global stability. He said Modi is a great leader. I don't understand why he is going with Putin and Xi when he is the biggest democracy in the world. I would just say, Indian people, please understand what is going on here. Brahmins are profiteering at the expense of the Indian people. Navarro's remarks followed Prime Minister Modi's bilateral engagement with Xi Jinping on the 31st of August on the sidelines of the SCO Leaders Summit. US President Donald Trump pushed back against speculation about his health over the last few days, taking to Truth Social. Trump said that he has never felt better in his life. The post shared on Monday came as unfounded rumors gained traction online after the president went several days without a public appearance. The speculation surrounding Trump's health subsided somewhat when Trump was spotted later that day heading to his Virginia golf course. Indonesia's President Prabowo Subianto has pledged to scrap lawmakers' perks, including a controversial $30,000 housing allowance in a bid to ease tensions after protests left at least 6 people dead. Starting today, certain allowances are cut and overseas trips suspended under a new moratorium. Protests in several regions have escalated into riots, with buildings and public facilities set on fire and even police headquarters attacked. Protests erupted following reports that all 580 lawmakers received a monthly housing allowance of $3,075 on top of their salaries introduced last year. The allowance amounts to nearly 10 times Jakarta's minimum wage. Critics contend that the benefit is not only excessive but also tone deaf, coming at a time when ordinary citizens are struggling with soaring living costs, higher taxes and rising unemployment. Two small airplanes collided on Sunday as they were trying to land at an airport in northeastern Colorado. The Federal Aviation said 2 people were aboard each aircraft but did not have any details on injuries. It also said that it has begun investigating the collision between a Cessna 172 and extra Fluxbo EA-300. North Korea said that leader Kim Jong-un inspected a new weapons factory that's key to his plan to accelerate mass production of missiles before he departed for a major military parade in China. North Korea's official Korean Central News Agency did not disclose the location of the factory Kim visited on Sunday. Reports suggest the location may be in Zhejiang province, a hub of the country's munitions industry that borders China. Nevada police say a man was found dead on August 30th night at the Burning Man festival in an apparent homicide. A statement released by the Pershing County Sheriff's Office on Sunday said that the as yet unidentified man was found lying in a pool of blood as the wooden effigy known as the man was burning at the festival. A man was arrested on Monday after a car crashed into the Russian consulate in a suburb of Sydney. Eyewitness footage from a building nearby captured the exterior of the consulate and audio of a person demanding another to exit their vehicle and lay on the ground. In New Delhi, around 45 shanties were gutted after a major fire broke out in the Bengali Basti area of Shahabad Daulatpur locality on Sunday. 8 fire tenders were pressed into service to douse the fire, while 10 ambulances were deployed at the site as a precaution. While no injuries have been reported so far, the cause of the fire has yet to be ascertained. Flooding in Pakistan has claimed the lives of 23 people in the last 24 hours. Since the 26th of June, more than 850 people have died nationwide in this monsoon season. According to figures released by the country's National Disaster Management Authority, according to official figures, 18 people were killed in Punjab, 4 in KPK and 1 in Balochistan in the last 24 hours. Of these fatalities, 17 were caused by flooding, 4 by house collapses and 1 by drowning. With water levels in rivers rising to all-time highs, Punjab province in Pakistan is dealing with the biggest flood in its history. BYD, China's biggest electric car maker, has posted its first profit decline in more than 3 years, a sharp 30% drop in the latest quarter. The company's stock slid in Hong Kong as investors reacted to the miss against analyst estimates. At the heart of the problem is China's bruising EV price war. Heavy discounting has eroded margins even as overseas sales surged 50% in the first half of the year. With strong demand from Brazil, Australia and Europe, BYD is also under pressure from Beijing's push for fairer industry practices. Rising research costs and borrowings add to the strain, and analysts say margins may recover modestly in the second half. Factory activity across Asia took a hit in August as US tariffs bit into exports, keeping pressure on policymakers to shore up fragile recoveries. Japan, South Korea and Taiwan all saw manufacturing contracts, with export orders falling sharply from key markets, including the US and Europe. China was the outlier. A private survey showed its manufacturing PMI climbed back from above 50, signaling growth, though the rebound remains patchy given weak domestic demand and uncertainty around trade talks. The outlook remains clouded. Analysts warn profits could weaken further as front-loaded shipments fade, leaving Asia's factories caught between higher US tariffs and rising competition from cheap Chinese exports. The dollar traded cautiously on Monday as investors await a string of US labor market reports this week, capped by Friday's non-farm payrolls. The data could determine whether the Federal Reserve opts for a standard 25 basis point rate cut or a larger half-point move later this month. The greenback edged higher against the yen and euro, but overall remains weaker after a 2% monthly drop. Futures markets now price in at 87% chance of a 25 basis point cut. Political uncertainty is also weighing on sentiment. A US appeals court ruled most of Donald Trump's tariffs illegal, while his unprecedented attempt to fire Fed Governor Lisa Cook has intensified concerns about central bank independence. Amazon's project
and liftoff.
Kuiper is preparing to launch satellite internet in India in 2025 but remains behind rival Starlink, OneWeb and Geo Satellite. The delay is due to an insufficient satellite constellation pending licenses and compliance with India's strict security rules like data localization and local telemetry control. Kuiper currently has 100 plus satellites but aims for 3,200 compared to Starlink's 6,700 and OneWeb's 648. Kuiper applied for GMPCS license in October 2023 and is still in discussions with the government. A new study examining how 3 leading AI chatbots respond to questions about suicide found they are inconsistent in their replies, raising concerns about the safety of people, including children, and are turning to these tools for mental health support. The research, published in the medical journal Psychiatric Services, reportedly found that while OpenAI's ChatGPT, Google's Gemini, and Anthropic's Claude generally refuse to answer the most high-risk queries, their responses to less extreme prompts varied significantly and could still be harmful. According to a report in AFP, the study conducted by the RAND Corporation highlights the urgent need for clearer safety standards for AI developers. AI tools are being misused to create hyper-realistic but fake videos of bikini-clad women conducting street interviews on the streets of India or the UK, which are then flooded across platforms like Instagram and TikTok. Investigations found many of these videos were in fact made with Google's Veo 3 generator, while thousands of AI-generated female models already dominate Instagram and other platforms. These clips, often generated using Google's Veo 3, rack up tens of millions of views and sometimes promote adult chat apps. They frequently feature misogynistic remarks, sexualized portrayals, or even fabricated incidents, driving massive traffic while fueling what experts call AI-mediated gendered harm. Researchers warn such content amplifies sexism and steadily erodes trust in online visuals. Australia will roll out a new law in December banning children under the age of 16 from using social media. To enforce this, the government tested selfie-based age-guessing software. The report found the technology is mostly accurate, fast, and respects user privacy, but it also showed limitations. The system struggles around the 16-year cutoff with an 8.5% error chance for 16-year-olds, meaning many may be wrongly flagged. Accuracy also drops for non-Caucasian users, teenage girls, and people close to the age threshold. Under the law, platforms like Instagram and YouTube, they must show that they are blocking underage users or face fines of up to 49.5 million Australian dollars. Experts warn the short time frame and accuracy gaps may make enforcement difficult, but the government says user privacy can still be protected.